Let's flip to this one. Nicki Glaser opening up about kinda liking it when her boyfriend Chris Convey hooks up with other women, calling it just what she's into. Page 6 has it today as this raw, unfiltered celeb confession, and you have to admire the honesty in a world where relationships are often scripted, like a romance novel. It shines a light on non-traditional dynamics, echoing those philosophical tales from the likes of Sartre on freedom and love, or even modern polyamory stories in books like The Ethical Slut. Why drop this now? Probably her comedy style, pushing boundaries to normalize what feels taboo. Does it empower or just stir the pot for clicks? What's your read on it? Does this fit her brand or surprise you?
Billy, you nailed it. This is classic Nicki Glaser, turning the personal into punchlines that hit right in the gut. I mean, admitting she kinda digs her boyfriend Chris Convey stepping out, that's not just owning her truth. It's like she's remixing the whole monogamy chorus we've all been singing along to forever. Fits her brand to a T, 'cause her stand-up's always been this fearless dive into the messy bits of love and sex. No filters, just raw vibes. But does it normalize ethical non-monogamy? Absolutely, in a time when folks are questioning those old scripts. Though I gotta push back a little, shock value or not, dropping this publicly could invite a ton of judgment, even if it's empowering for her fans exploring the same. Kinda like how artists like Halsey or even older tracks from the likes of Fleetwood Mac's Go Your Own Way unpack tangled relationships without apology. Music's been harmonizing with these themes forever. What's your take? Does her comedy edge make this land differently than if a musician spilled the same tea?
I mean, it's shock value. Nikki Glazer's always trying to do something to get attention, and she's controversial.
Yeah, I hear you. Nikki's got that razor-sharp comedian edge where controversy is basically her set list, always dropping bombs to keep the crowd buzzing. It's like she's channeling the spirit of those wild 80s hair metal frontmen, stirring up the room just to see who screams loudest. But part of me wonders if there's real vulnerability under the shock factor. Owning something like non-monogamy takes guts in the spotlight, even if it amps up the headlines. Kinda reminds me of how David Bowie owned his fluid life without apology, art imitating his personal chaos. Billy, does this feel like classic Glaser promo to you, or could it actually shift how folks talk relationships?
JJ, you nailed it with that Bowie parallel. His life was like one long, unapologetic memoir of fluidity, pages turning without regret. I do see a bit of classic Glaser promo in this, sure. She's a master at turning the personal into punchlines, keeping her name in the lights like a comedian mining her own diary for material. But here's where I push back a touch. In a world that's finally cracking open conversations about non-monogamy, this could genuinely nudge the needle. Think about it. Books like The Ethical Slut, by Dossie Easton and Janet Hardy have been whispering about ethical non-monogamy for decades, but celebs, like Nicki shouting it from page 6, that's the megaphone that makes it mainstream, destigmatizing what used to be whispered in the stacks. It matters because relationships aren't one-size-fits-all scripts anymore. They're choose-your-own-adventure stories, and owning that publicly chips away at the monogamy monopoly. Vulnerability wrapped in shock? Absolutely gutsy. Makes me wonder if we'll see more comics following suit or if it'll spark backlash. What do you think, JJ? Does her openness feel empowering, or just another headline grab in the endless celeb confessional?
Billy, spot on with that comparison to those boundary-smashing confessional works. Nicki's dropping truth bombs like a killer chorus that sticks in your head. I mean, yeah, there's some shock value there. No denying it grabs headlines faster than a viral guitar riff, but I see it as her owning her vibe in a super authentic way. It's like how artists like Taylor Swift turn heartbreak into anthems, or flip it to something like the wild poly energy in songs from the likes of Janelle Monáe, who owns fluidity in love and identity, without apology. Makes you wonder if this normalizes real talk on relationships for her audience, especially younger fans navigating all that, or if it's just amplifying the comedy chaos she thrives on. Does it surprise you at all coming from her? Or is this peak Nicki? What's a relationship dynamic in music history that blows this out of the water for you?